You've made it to week 3 of Strumming for Learning with the guitar. Let's go ahead and make sure your guitar is tuned before we begin. I'm not going to take the time to do it at this point. You're probably getting really comfortable tuning to E, A, D, G, B, E. Go ahead and pause if you need to tune, and let's get started. We have been practicing the down strum, which is on full measures. When we count 1, 2, 3, 4, our down strum is on those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we add in a little half beat in there and say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the and is our up strum. So whether you're using a pick or your pointer finger or maybe your thumb, you'll just kind of use the top of your thumb, top edge, and come up. Remember, an up strum, you're only hitting the bottom 3, maybe 4 strings. You're not hitting all 6 strings coming up. So just practice right now. Take a second and kind of go down, up, see what that feels like. It could be your pointer finger. I like to use my thumb and then my pointer. If you have a pick, you're just lightly gonna pick up. So just play around for just a moment, see how that feels. We have learned a couple chords already. We've learned the G chord. Let's just place your fingers real quick and get comfortable with that. We last week learned the D chord, and remember we're just strumming down strings 4 and down, D. Today you're gonna learn the C chord. For the C chord, it's gonna feel really awkward and it's gonna feel like your fingers are really stretching, but you can do this. So our first finger is going on the 2nd string on the 1st fret. And we're gonna make kind of a diagonal line. Our 2nd finger is gonna skip string 3. We're gonna go to string 4. So your 2nd finger is on string 4 on the 2nd fret. Now your 3rd finger is gonna go even further diagonal, and it's gonna go to the 5th string on the 3rd fret. So you are on strings 2, 4, and 5, frets 1, 2, and 3. Now it's really hard if you hold it like this, trying to do that C shape, you're really gonna mess with your wrist. So what I do is I pivot the pads of my fingers. So instead of being on top like this, just shift it down, lay them down a little bit, but I still have my C shape here. You can see I still have a C shape, making sure the pads of the other parts of my finger aren't hitting any other strings. They're just pivoted so that I'm kind of at the edges of my fingertips, not the very tip of my fingertip. And I'm pushing my thumb against the back of the neck, kind of gripping this here, and that's your C. So again, just kind of make sure you're near the frets, not on top of them. And for our C chord, we don't strum the 6th string. We're just gonna strum 5 and down. So you hear that buzzing? That means one of my strings isn't quite right. So I'm just moving my fingertips the tiniest bit. That sounds a lot better. Now, as we practice, you're gonna hear a lot of funny sounds. Just push through it, keep playing. Eventually your fingers will start to automatically adjust. So it's okay for it to sound kind of funny right now. That's your C. Let's go ahead and keep our C, and we're just gonna practice going off and on our C. Remember, when we go off and on, just a quick lift up and then lift down. Let's stay on our C, and we're gonna do 2 measures on. Remember, we're strumming string 5 and down. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, on. It's okay to look. Take take a second, fix your fingers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. There's just a little bit of practice with our C. We're going to practice our G, D, and C chords, switching through one measure each with a down-up strum. If it's a little too hard for you to do the up strum right now, just practice the down strum. 1, 2, ready, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and D, 2, and 3, and 4, and C, 2, and 3, and 4, and G, 2, and 3, and 4, and D, 2, 3, and 4, and C, 2, and 3, and 4, and G, and 2, and 3, and 4, and D, 2, and 3, and 4, and C, 2, and 3, and 4. That's it, just switching between those chords. Obviously, they're not always going to be in that same order, but it's just building where your fingers are going to go. So excellent practice. We're going to review our G and D chords and add in the C chord with the Happy Birthday song. This is a wonderful song for a goal to start with using the guitar in your classroom. Every time you have a birthday, you can pull out your guitar and play and have the whole class sing happy birthday to that student. It will make them feel so incredibly special, and it's a really easy goal for you to just nail down this one song that you can play. For happy birthday, we're gonna start with our G. And I'm gonna do the same thing where the printout that you have has a bolded word right below where we switch chords. So let's start with that first. We're gonna start with our G, happy, strum down on birth. Birthday to. We're gonna go to our D. And remember D, you just strum 4, 3, and 2. You. Stay here, strum down on birth. Happy birthday to, go back to your G, strum down, you, stay here. Happy birthday, dear whomever, that's the person's name. Then we're gonna switch to our D. I'm gonna lift off just a little bit, go to your D. Happy birthday to, back to your G. You. Let's try that again with a little smoother play through. 1, 2, ready, and happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear whoever. Happy birthday to you. In the practice play along, you will get a chance to go through that a couple more times. Let's practice the Itsy Bitsy Spider with our down up strum. Now you're gonna have those 2 half measures where we do D and G, but we can still just continue it'll be like 1 and 2 and will be our D. And then our G will be 3 and 4 and. Let's start at our G, Itsy Bitsy Spider with our down up strum. 1, 2, ready, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Then the little spider began to weave her thread of gossamer and silk Soon her magic web lay gleaming in the sun. And you now know the G chord, the D chord, the C chord, a down strum, a down up strum. You can play Happy Birthday every time there's a birthday in class, and you have the Itsy Bitsy Spider as a song for a brain break or to change the words to for some type of learning that you're doing in your environment. Looking forward to week 4. Happy strumming!